second half, the defense, specifically, I know you're willing to live with some of those point of threes or whatever it is, but like, are there specific things you felt could have gone different that you could have changed besides the shot making?
I mean, when a team makes shots like they did, I don't know what they shot for the game, but they shot a high number. Your margin for error just goes, thinner. And so, because of how good our defense has been this year, we've been able to endure hot shooting nights. San Antonio comes to mind, with the way we played in the second half. But you got to be really, really tight on the glass. You got to be really, really tight in your other stuff, in order to endure a night where they shoot it like that. So we weren't tight enough, and they made shots, and that's how you add up to 140.
And Shai took just 2 shots in the fourth. He came in earlier than usual.
Yep.
I think it was Peyton Watson and Christian Brown both tried to deny him. In the games when he does get denied, like what are some of the common denominators you see that kind of limit him?
Well, what we saw tonight with them is somewhat new. We haven't seen this very much, so credit them. I mean, they had a good scheme there. Like I said, they threw us off rhythm to a degree. We scored enough in the game to win. I do want to note that with the defense, but it's not like typical denials that you would normally get out of man-to-man like we see against Houston or New Orleans. It was a little different. They're like zoning, trapping him when he's got the ball, denying him when he doesn't. It was specialized for him. I always look at that as a compliment to Shai, first of all, and a compliment to our team when a team gives you something like that that's new. And now it's on me and our staff and the team to find solutions for that, and we'll get to work on that for if we see this again.
Are you surprised that they can come up with something new because so many defenses you've seen already?
Yeah, it's creative. It's good for their personnel, and like I said, credit them. They threw something out there that gave us problems in those parts of the game, and we just, like I said, we got to go to the drawing board, find some solutions for that for if we see them again at some point, and then if another team decides to do that against us.
I think this first back-to-back for Shai.
Yeah.
Good back. You think that maybe he never found his offensive rhythm tonight, or maybe he's just not used to the legs back or whatever you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, he's been really good. He's a really impactful player, and he's still working himself back. I don't know if that specifically contributed to, missing a couple shots tonight, but he's still a very impactful player, and he's still building back. Like I've said, we're trying to evaluate him week to week. He's trending up week to week. He's done a great job. We're certainly happy to have him back. He's been very impactful since he's been back, so he's doing a good job.
Early on in the game, there's some frustration, it seemed like, from you on that Iheart foul where he got hit in the face and there was a no call. What was sort of the situation with Dylan going up to the scores table and then ended up not subbing in at that time?
Yeah, well, I was frustrated with the Hart foul because there's a clear misplay. I thought it was an easy play to get. There's nowhere near the basket. The permanent sub idea is, that there's a ball goes out of bounds in the NBA. The officials are the ones in charge of the pace of how fast the ball gets inbounded. Jokic is savvy, and if he was, if I was coaching Jokic, I'd appreciate him doing this too. But he gets the ball very quickly from them, and he starts the fast break. And the officials start the fast break for him because he demands the ball, they hand it to him, and he zips it up the floor. We had a situation a couple years ago where we're at Golden State, we had a sub up, and they missed the sub. They inbounded the ball so fast. And so I put a sub up tonight, and I was like, hey, we're gonna have to call him in every single out of bounds in order to, slow the game down if you guys are gonna give them an advantage by handling the ball fast. So they delayed a game that. I don't know if there's a rule against doing that. I think you can have a sub up there and choose not to put him in the game. But it was something that, I went to, if they're gonna quick the ball in for them, then I'm gonna do that.
Coach, sorry if you mentioned it earlier, but any update on Jalen Williams and his hip?
No update. We'll evaluate in the morning. Obviously, we ruled out for the game.
Anyone else? Go ahead, Joe. Go ahead, Joe.
I'm just curious, I've never heard of that strategy, put permanent sub up there.
Yeah, it's creative.
Did you think of that, or when did you?
Like I said, we're at Golden State a couple years ago.
Yeah.
The referee hands the ball to, the inbounder, who also was demanding the ball. We had a sub up. To me, that's an unfair advantage because we teach our team, hey, get ready quickly. If they inbound the ball, look to gain that advantage. We don't get the ball that fast. So, you can put a sub up, and on an out of bounds or a free throw, you can opt not to put that guy in the game. And I just put him up there, and I told them, like, look, I'm going to leave him here all night. You're going to have to call him in on every out of bounds unless you're going to, you know, delegate the game fairly for both teams on out of bounds calls. That's what I was doing. They gave me a delay of game. I don't know if that's a rule, but that's why I pulled him back. I would have left him there all night.
Anybody else?
Your technical foul, doesn't matter, now you lost the game, but you did go for 17-6 run.
I mean, the technical had nothing to do with that. You know, more just like misplay. I didn't think we got an early favorable whistle, and was just trying to, you know, make sure that I got their attention. It was a combination of that and the inbound play that I was pretty pissed with.
Anybody else? Thank you, coach.
Yep, thanks.